shoes and at home it's even worse. They're the oldest of 5 kids and stuff.
Hey, what's up, guys? Tony Perks. Welcome back to Unpack Your Bag Podcast. So this episode, the podcast unfortunately won't have any video. We had some technical difficulties going along with the video, so there's no actual video, but we got some pictures and stuff up there for you guys. So great audio, same great content, just no video this time. So go ahead and enjoy this episode, and let me guys know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks, guys.
Good. And 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Unpack Your Bag Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Perks. We got my co-host, Chantal, in the building. And we have a guest on the channel. Let me tell you guys, Dr. John is on the call today. Yes, this man is a physical therapist, and we want to discuss a lot of things, knowledge that he has. So, Dr. John, can you give us like a little synopsis about who you are, what you're about, and what you actually do and what that entails?
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. John. I am a doctor of physical therapy. Currently, right now, I've been practicing for about 2 years as a doctor, and I used to be a physical therapist assistant for about 2 years. For about 2 years prior to that, and currently, right now, I'm just a physical therapist with other hobbies on the side. That's pretty much it, you know, in a nutshell, pretty much. So,
Okay.
there you go.
Why did you get into physical therapy? Like, what was like this reason there? You always like, let me just be like in shape and like, yo, like.
Pause. Can we just pause for a second and talk about how Dr. John does not look like a doctor I've ever had in my life? Like,
Amen. Amen.
He's young. He's got this deep voice happening right now.
Right.
Dr. John is like a total package. We might have to do his dating profile for the ladies watching.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
I'm
First,
sorry.
we'll talk about him being a doctor first.
Fair enough.
Oh my gosh.
Well, how I got to physical therapy. The simple answer is at one point in time in my life, I actually wanted to become an artist. I was right after high school. I wanted to become a graphic design artist. I wanted to actually animate for Pixar.
Really?
And
Cool. Okay.
yeah, and I studied art for about 2 years, right before one summer.
Okay.
Unfortunately, when you're young, you know, you kind of worry about stability and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
Understandable.
one summer I was like, maybe I'll do something medical because that's stable.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
It is.
as you
That's
know,
true.
I'm Filipino, and for all the Filipinos out there who are watching, you are kind of forced by your family to want to become a nurse. Cause you know my brother, man. You know my brother, and he's a freaking nurse.
That is
You know
that's
what
some
I'm
true stuff. There's a
Join the
gang of
family
Filipinos, man. That's so
Family
true.
business, nursing.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. You know, as the son of an immigrant and also an immigrant, we're kind of not forced, but lovingly coerced into the medical field.
I like that.
And I did not.
That was really
Yeah.
nice. Lovingly coerced. I really like that. That was
Lovingly
really nice.
coerced. And I did not see myself as a nurse, so I was like,
Okay.
this sounds really sounds like almost like delusions of grandeur. But before I wanted to become a physical therapist, I actually wanted to become a neurosurgeon.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, but I imagined 10 years of my life just passing me by, and then
Mm-hmm.
I won't be done until I'm like 40 at that point. So I'm like, probably not. So I wanted to do physical therapy. So, and that's a whole different saga right there. We might want to get into it later if you want to.
Okay.
But long story short, I picked physical therapy. Literally one summer, I just flipped the switch.
Mhm.
Got out of university, went into community college, started doing all my sciences and whatnot, and then here we are.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so
Dang.
yeah, but that's a whole different
Yeah. Okay. Well,
package.
Well,
right there.
we'll take a step back. You said you are, you say a first generation immigrant or a second generation?
Well, because I myself am an immigrant. So,
Okay.
me and my brother, Well, okay. So really, when I was a year old,
Mm-hmm.
my mom and my dad, they pretty much sold everything to pursue the American dream, essentially.
Okay.
Unfortunately, at that point in time, my parents could not really afford to bring both me and my brother with them.
Okay.
So what happened was they came to America when I was a year old. So I ended up staying with my grandmother.
Okay.
Me and my brother ended up staying with my grandmother, who pretty much raised us at that point.
Okay.
And I actually did not see my parents until I was like 12. So I was like,
Oh, wow.
there was an 11-year span where I didn't see my parents, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, and it sounds crazy, but
Uh-huh.
that actually isn't as unique as you think it is, because most immigrant families actually go through that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, but that being said, my parents went to America.
Mm-hmm.
Took about 11 years to get us legally here.
Okay.
And then, here we are.
Oh,
Here we are. Yeah.
Well,
Here we are.
go ahead.
I kind of want to know, what was that like adjusting? So in the Philippines until you're 12, and then you come over here to America at 12 years old, immediately enroll in school. Was there a culture shock? Like,
Whew. Culture shock is an understatement at that point. Yeah, it was kind of an understatement. Because when I actually came to America, I could barely speak English.
Oh.
And
I
I
didn't
don't know
even
if
think
you,
about
I don't
that.
know if, I don't know if I don't know if you still have if I still have an accent or something. Sometimes it comes out. But when I came here, I was during that time I was 12 years old,
Okay.
and at that point in time it was like junior high ish,
Okay.
right? And when you come here, dude, I came with like bowl cut and all, man.
Oh, shoot. No, please, no.
no,
Please.
not the bowl cut.
I beg of you, just not that. Like
Yeah.
everything else, but not that. Not the bowl cut, man. Oh, Lord.
Dude,
Jesus.
it was like a
gosh.
legit bowl cut. Like literally a bowl was put in my head, and this happened.
With
Dude.
the little bangs. Oh my gosh, bro.
It was good times.
Oh my gosh.
To be fair, it's funny because I start seeing people with that now, so I was like, man, I rocked that when I was 12 years old.
I was ahead of the time, bro.
20 years ago. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, yeah, I came here, bowl cut and all. I could barely speak English. It was really hard to make friends.
Okay,
Unfortunately, when you're somebody who can really barely speak English,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, as much as I love my culture and being Filipino, our accent is not exactly like a British accent, right? Like if somebody came here from England, right,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh, I can't do a British accent. That's really bad." but
Hello.
but you know what I
can't
mean?
do it either.
Yeah,
I
but you
can't.
know what I mean? Like people find that almost universally attractive, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I understand.
Distinguished almost, right? But
Yeah.
when you come here and you have really broken English and you have a really, really thick Filipino accent, like I have a story to tell you about that in a bit. But
Okay.
people, especially kids, don't really see you as really smart or
Oh, I see. Yeah.
it's hard to relate to kids because they're kind of like, what?
Like
this is
talk. You
different,
can't talk.
right?
Like, are you stupid or something?
Yeah,
like
it's
that kind
it's
of
hard. Yeah, it's hard to. There's a definitely a barrier there.
Thing? Understand.
So just as like a first introduction to American culture, it was kind of hard to at least get past that point.
Mhm.
So when I was younger, I would actually literally practice saying words in an American accent.
Oh, okay. So you
What
would,
Like
kind of
literally,
words?
give us some words. Like, what do you remember?
the one that really sticks to mind, and it's not even like a commonly used word. It's really weird. Rendezvous, and that's not even really English.
What?
You know what I
He's like-
mean?
he's like, rendezvous.
Rendezvous is
Rendezvous.
an English word.
Yeah. He goes
Rendezvous.
outside
It's
like
for whatever
rendezvous.
reason.
Rendezvous. Like what? Like
Yeah, rendezvous. Hey,
Rendezvous.
I can always revert back to my Tagalog accent. Oh, you're rendezvous over there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Funny.
So but those things like that, I would literally practice saying words,
Mhm.
and so that it was almost like a facade because I wanted to fit in.
Understandably, you're young, you're in another place, you want to like feel like some kind of connection, like to somebody or something. Understandable.
Right. Especially as a kid, those are our most important. Like your peer groups as a kid are like your most important influencers. Period. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's where get
right.
just about everything.
Like the peer groups are more important than money at that point. You're like, man, I'm trying to fit in. Like if you're not in, you feel like you're dead. Like it's like the most important thing for like high schoolers to be like okay with their friends and cool, So I understand that.
Yeah, and it's a popularity contest, right? Mm-hmm. Or whatever you want to call it.
For sure.
So as a culture shock, it was really hard. I haven't even gotten to like the American culture part of it yet, but just mainly like language, Yeah. To be fair, we're taught English in the Philippines, but you're not really taught conversational English. When I was younger, at least, I didn't have a lot of conversational English, right?
What do you mean, like you mean like slang? Are you saying like by conversational English or just like common words?
So it's yes, but you're taught English as a second language.
Okay.
But it wasn't like I could hold a conversation in English, just like right now, like what we're doing right now, right?
You just need like words.
You're talking to me, and I before I would have almost like a lag time between my response because I would have to digest what you're saying first and then respond to you.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like our banter right now,
Yeah.
For sure. it wasn't like that. It was kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point in time, you're a kid trying to fit in. I had like loose clothes that didn't even fit me. I was like this weirdo kid. And I remember, when you're a new kid at school and then you have to introduce yourself in front of the class.
Oh my gosh. I hated that.
Did you guys ever have those when you were a kid?
It's like I was like, why do I got to do it? Just tell me, teacher, tell him my name. That's all. Like, why I got to come here and say?
I think I probably enjoyed it a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh heck no, I was. Ugh.
I don't know, maybe a little bit.
I hated. I was stage fright like crazy. Ugh. Every time I think about it, I'm just like,
including the stage fright, right?
Yeah.
So I went into the first day of junior high. And it was 7th grade, and actually I came in half the year of 7th grade. So when I got in there, and the teacher asked, "It's like, oh, can you introduce yourself?" And I was like, hello, my name is John. I come from the Philippines." That's how I talked.
Yeah. The accent, yeah.
When you're a kid, and that's your first introduction to the other people, you're like, what?
Like,
they have this face like the
like what am I supposed to do with this? Yeah.
But anyway, junior high, kind of crazy. And then you went to high school, even worse at that point.
Okay.
But I really tried to get my accent down. That was like the first step, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to assimilate. And luckily, I'm here now, and at this point, like I'm old enough that I don't even care if people like me or not. If people like me or not, So, but those are my younger years, at least in America.
Okay, so. I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
So, you said your parents are gone for like the first 12 years because they're trying to get you to America and stuff. So what was that? What was that like coming back and then having to like be with your parents? Was that like hard to do? Like, what was that dynamics like? Because I was adopted myself. And so,
there you go.
Yeah. So like, I didn't know my mom till I was like 20 something. Like I met her. So it was like weird to like, hey, you're my mom. And like, now we got to have a relationship. So like, I'm curious to know, like, cause you have when you're younger, but you're still a kid, but what was that dynamics? Did you guys like talk in between before you went to America or like,
Yeah. Well, I actually did not know that about you. That's pretty interesting. I might have to ask you a question or two about that. But
open book, pack my bag, it's cool.
We did. My parents would always give us a phone call, but FaceTime was not a thing back then, right? So even the long distance calls was like you need to arrange everything. They need to buy prepaid phone cards to even call us for like a limited time.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a trip, but we did talk. I just didn't know what my mom looked like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
because we didn't have a thing, right? So
Yeah.
I literally had a picture of her when she was like 20 something.
Oh wow.
And then, at that point in time, my mom was like almost 40 or almost something like that.
So she looks
And then,
almost nothing like the picture at this point.
oh, no. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
It was really funny because when me and my brother went to America, it was just me and him. Like there was nobody with us. It was just, I was a 12-year-old kid and he was a 15-year-old kid. And then they sent us on a plane as unaccompanied minors. So it was literally me and him, could barely speak English. And we landed on LAX.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was trippy, man. And then my mom greets us, and I didn't know who she was.
Oh, really? Yeah. You're just like, who?
So I was just like, somebody's coming. Like in my head, I'm like, this was in Tagalog, but like somebody was coming towards us. But who is this lady?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's my mom, man.
You're like, get it ready for a second. Like,
wait a minute. But we had talks before, and it was definitely an adjustment. But I actually did not have as hard of an adjustment as I thought I would.
Okay.
Because she was still my mom, and I felt her being my mom.
Yeah.
It was because she missed us so much, and she gave up so much stuff.
Yeah, like she did sacrifice a lot. That's true.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and you feel that when you're with your mom. So that was what I felt, and and when I was here, when I was younger, I didn't understand the whole dynamic of it. But as I got older now, especially reflecting back on it now, man, it must have been much harder for her to not be with us than us not being with her.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Because like you gotta leave your babies.
Because you were 1 year old, so she's literally.
I was a year old.
She's literally leaving behind her baby, like not even like her baby, like you're her son, but like her literal baby.
Wow.
Chantal, do you have kids?
None. Zero.
Yeah. Anthony, you have kids?
I have one little daughter.
Yeah, dude. Like, imagine leaving your daughter.
Dude,
like that's rough.
Yeah,
dude.
Like literally, I had COVID and I was out for like 3 weeks, and I couldn't see her, and it was like miserable. I'm like, this is so hard. Like it was honestly really hard. So imagine years. Like I don't know. That would be extremely hard decision, because it's like I'm going after a better life for all of us to have, but I also have to miss like something that I value the most, which is like my children. That's a hard.
Is the only way. Like this is the only way we can do it.
Yeah, like that's tough. Like that's a hard decision. But
that's like that is you essentially give up because you work for your kids, right?
Yeah.
But you're literally giving up the time with them. For them to even have a chance,
Yeah.
And it's like as I get older, thinking back at it, it's like, man, that must have been really rough for her.
Yeah.
It's just really rough for her. So at this point, I don't blame her. I actually applaud how much strength that took.
Wow. That's cool.
Which is not because she missed all of my firsts. If you think about it.
Man, that's
right. She missed all of it.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, like the first time I talked, the first time I walked, the first time you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she missed all of it.
Yeah.
And then she sees me as like this almost teenager coming into America, and I'm like
walking and talking like, "Yo, mom," like, like, "Hey, like,
hey, what's up?" Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's nuts to think about, right?
Yeah, it is.
That was a interesting dynamic, and in a certain way, it's kind of unique to people from America. But then again, you also had a similar experience, right, with your mom. So what was that like for you?
For me, it was like, because I had an adopted mom, and I knew that I was adopted because me and my brother were like 9 months and a week apart, both born from the same mom, different dads. But I knew I was adopted the whole time, but I always had like a sense of resentment growing up because I would see kids with their parents and they would be complaining like, oh, my mom's such a this and that. And I'm like, you like lucky you have your mom, you know, I don't have my mom or my dad. Thank God I had my foster mom. She's like my mom, but it was still always a piece like for me missing. And so for me, it was like a lot of like jealousy and envy for like, people when they're talking about their parents. I'm just like, bro, like you're lucky. Like you are privileged to have both your parents or just one of them, let alone, you know, anything, you know. And looking back, I was actually very fortunate because like my biological mom couldn't take care of me. You know, there was a drug addiction problem and dad was in prison. So it honestly couldn't work out. And the lady who like raised me, she was like a really good Christian, a really good, strong woman. And she really raised me well. So, I mean, I understood that, but it was still always hard to like unpack that like resentment and also detach from it because it was like kind of a part of my identity, like somewhat of a chip on my shoulder, like I was adopted or like I didn't have this. So it was kind of a little struggling growing up, but now I'm like, I'm cool. Like now it's like I understand and I see like hindsight's 2020, but it was hard before. It was a little harder for me.
Yeah, I can imagine that actually, because the chip in your shoulder feeling, I totally get that.
Yeah,
I totally get that.
It's
until my 20s, that's when I kind of shed it. It was always there, you know. Yeah. So because I always thought like the kids here don't realize what they have.
Exactly. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah,
I can understand.
And
entitlement there, a little bit of entitlement there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, at this point, there's to me entitlement is a thing, but that's also a kind of a sign of how prosperous America is. So I don't even like have a chip on my shoulder now.
Okay.
You know, because the same at this point, how I got here, right? Like whatever they had, I kind of have now. So I can't really have a, you know, I can't really have a chip on my shoulder because, you know, if I stayed in the Philippines, I would not be here.
Yeah, for
right
sure.
Now. You know what I mean? So at this point, like as I grow older, the chip is kind of like
diminished,
almost not there. There's always a residual thing because it kind of shaped me, but at the end of the day, here we are. You know,
I understand that, and it's like reflection and growth, you know, and like honestly looking at it when you're more a mature mindset, you know, you've had more time to like understand the dynamics and why things happen and, you know, why things were missed. And like, I think as you grow and you start to really like understand it, it makes it a lot easier to not have that chip. So I agree. I agree, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think that's part of growing up is really self-awareness. Right. That's something that you know my brother. So me and my brother, I'm pretty sure you've talked to my brother about like
a lot.
all the deep stuff. But I've really been really thinking about more self-awareness and why I think this way and see how I tick and things like that. You know, so it was thinking about that. It's really helping me kind of let go of a lot of not even resentment. It was just more things that weigh me down.
Yeah, I understand.
And I could not have been here if I was still weighed down by those, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Man, that's good, man. That's so good. Oh, I do have a comment, actually. There's a comment. It says, how awesome is your oldest brother? And this comment is from Mark. Mark is the older brother.
I figured. He sucks.
That's a good brother. That's what you do. That's what you do. And afterwards be like, you know, he's really tight.
Terrible.
He's a terrible person.
I can't stand him, but you know, he's a pretty good dude, actually, you know. But you know.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. That's
funny. He always gives me free food when I'm there. I was there yesterday.
Free food. What are brothers for?
Right? Free food. Like, you know.
It's free food, man.
Right?
Free food, man.
That's funny. That's
funny. What's up, brother? What's up?
He's going to watch this one for sure. Okay, but I do want to, so I want to talk a little bit about your profession because you know, your doctor and everything.
Hold on. Before we get there,
okay,
I want to know, because you said something that really intrigued me, John. You said that you were going to be a Pixar artist, right?
Yes.
Before you ultimately decided to go into medicine. So I'm assuming that
Right.
art was a passion of yours, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell me about making that decision, because I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds like a tough one.
Yeah.
It definitely was. It still is a passion of mine. I actually still do art on the side. I actually just got a tablet that is like just gigantic, and I can draw stuff on it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it was a really tough decision.
Mhm.
Because at that point in time, I didn't realize. All I knew was that stability equaled something in the medical field, because that's how I was kind of groomed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's true,
It really is, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
it is true. It is.
right? So at that point in time, I kind of preferred stability over the risk of a highly competitive, really there's no roadmap type of
Mm.
profession. You know what I mean?
I can
Like
understand.
everything was on your merit, and you're kind of hanging on a subjective perspective of an employer.
That is very true. That is extremely
Absolutely.
true. It is like
That is-
100% true.
And very well said.
Yeah,
Because,
like,
yes.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was explained well. That is 100% subjective. Wow.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I can be in my head, I can be the best artist that I can be,
Mhm.
but if the employer doesn't like it,
Yeah.
I'm not eating.
And that's
Yeah.
and that's all based on their personal opinion of it. Like, that's
Yeah,
Yes,
you are.
in your opinion.
Yeah, you. Because the more I digested it, like, why did I do that decision?
yeah.
But that was really what it was. Is that I was hanging on based on somebody else's opinion
Mm. Mm.
completely.
That is
Right?
wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
tough.
now, when you go into medicine, when you get a degree, yes, on some level, you're still fighting for positions or whatever.
Right.
But at that point in time, if I put doctor in front of it and I have a doctorate,
Yeah. It's pretty
it's
good
kind of
chances.
it's kind of easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it hit different.
For
It hit
sure.
different
Like,
for
doctor,
sure.
oh yeah, you're on. Doctor, you're for sure.
Yeah, doc. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, that stands out.
It was so that was kind of my thought process at that point. Is like, if I do something medical, I know that I can get a job,
For sure.
like 100% guaranteed.
Yeah.
If I don't do that, if somebody doesn't like me or my whatever I do,
Right.
then I'm screwed, right?
Yeah, that is a really good
Yeah.
point. It's
Yeah, yeah,
extremely-
and
yeah, something that you need
yeah,
to
and
really think about. Yeah.
Hearing you talk about this, John, is really
Yeah.
breaking my heart, and it's breaking my heart because I cannot draw a lick, but I think I have the soul of an artist, right? Like, I am just like
okay.
I just want to create and travel the world and write and make music, right? Even though I have none of
Yeah,
this.
I totally understand.
Everything you just said is absolutely right. Like, you gotta do the thing that is gonna sustain you, right? Like,
Yeah.
those are the options that we have. And
Yeah.
and I'm heartbroken because
It still kind of gets me just thinking about it. But
Yeah.
here's the thing though. You're correct, because to be fair, I actually don't judge people's art. Like me as a quote unquote artist, I don't judge people's art because, like I said, everything's subjective.
Mhm.
You can draw a stick figure. If somebody likes it, you're an artist.
That's really true.
basically. And if somebody pays for it, you're
If somebody
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
pays for it,
You're
I
paid
mean,
artist.
Van Gogh. Okay, think of Van Gogh's paintings, right?
Mhm.
Or think of Picasso's paintings.
Mhm.
Think of Picasso, like the
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
strange stuff.
Yeah, strange stuff. Super, literally asymmetrical by all traditional standpoints, like
Mhm.
Renaissance or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not great,
Mhm.
but he's friggin' Picasso.
Yeah, he's like one of the greatest artists ever known.
So,
Yeah.
because somebody loved it. That's all it took.
Because somebody loved it, or people loved it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's so
if you
true.
think about it. Yeah,
Wow.
that's what I'm saying. Is like, really, you can say that you're not an artist, but in my head, everybody is an artist. Like, everybody can be an
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah. That's true.
You just have to find. You just have to, because to me also is that art is as a whole, art isn't art until somebody appreciates it.
So what is it before then?
Because you can draw things, but if somebody doesn't appreciate your art, what would you say? I just drew
art?
stuff.
Is it art? Yeah, I guess.
Is it art?
Question.
Think about it.
So, I guess if you appreciate your own art,
yes.
So, but if you don't,
it's the natural expression of whatever it is you're creating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the key, though, right? Like you have to appreciate your own first, so people can appreciate it.
Right. I can understand that. And that's crazy because it also like goes into music because music is 100% subjective. Like it can be a instrumental and I can love it and you can hate it and both are right.
But even though it's subjective, I still feel like art is just the natural expression of creation. No, like whatever it is that you decide to create and throw into the atmosphere is art if you say it is, right? That's
okay.
I'm a person, right? So my subjectivity matters.
Yeah.
Yes, no, you're
sure.
correct. You're correct. Yeah, you are completely correct. But at that point in time, when does art become
art,
an occupation? At that point, that's when the transition happens, right?
Yeah. I can understand that, and that is you said something. It was about it was about like the stability you're looking for, and that's why you chose a career. And it's like crazy because if you value stability, then that is the right move. But financial stability. And if you don't value that, then it would be much easier to go the other way. But I understand. I value financial stability. I'm like, I'm not trying to be out here every week figuring out if I'm going to make it, I totally understand, but it's like, I see why other people that maybe don't value money as much or financial security can go and do that because it's like that's not their biggest priority is to be financially stable. Their biggest priority may be to be happy creating. And that happiness is weighs more than the financial stability it doesn't give them.
Creating, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I 100% agree. And the funny thing is, as I got older, and now I kind of became as a physical therapist, which I really like. Like I love being a physical therapist, but now I have leeway now to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Right.
This is another thing that stability provides, right? Once you do what you have to do, you make room to do the things that you really love or want to
really want to do.
Yeah.
So now as I am more into, as a physical therapist or whatever, now my mind actually went from super, super logical and I'm starting to revert back to creative.
Okay.
I'm starting to notice that. And like what you were saying, Chantal, is like creation is art, right?
Yeah.
And but now I have the foundation now where I can appreciate what I do now.
Wow.
Because it in itself, right? The physical therapy in itself allows you to bring out some sort of creativity.
It doesn't force me now. It doesn't force me now to think of it as something that needs to feed me.
Got you. Wow.
That worry's gone. That worry's gone. I can, your base start, like if I was here and I was this kid that had nothing and now I'm here, my base is here now. So I can do whatever I want after that.
For sure.
So then it comes around full circle.
It doesn't come around full circle. So now as I get older, I'm doing a lot more creative. That's why I got into streaming, actually. It's because it's more of a creative outlet for myself because I do art streams and all that stuff. I designed my entire stream setup, all of it. It's just more of like, now that I've gotten older, I've started to appreciate how much I need a creative outlet. Kind of like what Chantal was saying. You need a creative outlet, right?
For sure.
Especially if that's how you're wired. Is that how you're wired is creativity? You need an outlet. You have to.
It feels it's like something bubbling up inside of you that you have to release.
That is, man, that is so true.
What do I do? Do I write? Do I sing?
Something.
Do I draw? Right, except I can't. Although, according to
technically
John,
you can
my
now.
stick figure could make me money one day.
I'll buy your stick figure.
You would be surprised how much people actually appreciate what you think. That's why I kind of brought up the point before too. You have to appreciate your own art, right? Because if you think that it's crap, who's gonna think it's better than crap?
Yeah.
Because you're the one who made it, and you think it's crap.
You said it was crap.
Yeah.
You said it's crap.
Right.
So
Okay.
you're
Right?
putting,
So
you're
you
putting that out
planted the
there.
seed on other people that that's crap.
Yeah. Like they feel your vibe.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you would be surprised how much, like, if you believe in what you create, people really appreciate it.
You know who's a good example of that?
Who is a good example?
Kanye West.
Oh my God! How?
Because
How?
no, I was
It's
no.
true. Okay.
Okay,
How?
not wrong, though.
Okay,
Why,
so
Lord?
okay, so
He's not wrong, though.
it wasn't about him being great. It was about that he believed so much that his talents were that great that in time people started to identify that. Like Lil Wayne, for example, he used to say, "I'm the best rapper alive," when he wasn't the best rapper alive, and then he said it so much until it ended up happening. Huh?
Lil Wayne always had bars though.
So Kanye didn't?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that what you just said about Kanye West, I'm sure you could also take out Kanye West's name and insert any artist in there, period. Right? So that's not unique to Kanye West. So the fact that you brought this conversation back to Kanye West,
I feel like I need to stay out of this.
Oh my God!
No,
I gotta stay out of this a little bit.
John is smart.
Paying Anthony's bills or something because
No.
he is constantly plugging the dude.
No, I'm just telling
writing
you.
you a
I'm just telling you. The reason why this happened, John, because usually for some reason I end up bringing up Kanye West into one of our podcasts, whatever. And she's like, no. And I'm like,
running meme? Is he a running meme?
yeah, like Kanye is always in these episodes. So that's why this is happening.
Somehow, some way.
I'm just saying he believed in his hype and people thought he was crazy until he's not. And it happened on numerous. It happened in the music industry. It happened in clothing.
Crazy.
It happened in art.
Documented.
So
He has mental health problems.
So, which is fine. Don't we all though? Don't we all kind of have some mental health
Not to
problems?
that extent.
That's subjective.
Not subjective. Medication is not subjective. He needs to be medicated.
Yeah.
In some people's eyes, in other people's eyes, you know.
To be fair.
Yeah, be the mediator, John. Be the mediator, John.
Okay, so I think
Help us, please.
this is gonna sound really political, but I think you guys are both wrong, or both right. Actually, not both wrong, both right, because in one sense he does have an extreme case of like mental issues.
Okay.
But also, I think we perceive it as an extreme case because he's overt about it. Most people hide it.
That's true.
Okay, touche.
Like I
Do you see what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna be here like, hey, I'm bipolar, y'all. Well, I'm not gonna be probably saying.
Yeah,
that
I'm
to
not gonna be
everybody.
running around like I have a mood swing right now.
Yeah, like I'm not right now, guys. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
Good point. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
That is a good point.
That is a good point.
Do you see what I'm saying? And because he's in the limelight and he's being he literally is in a microscope every single thing that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you think it's crazy, whether you think it's brilliant, whether you think it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a quote unquote artist, like what we've been talking about, people love it or hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's in such the limelight, we see everything as an extreme. There's no mid ground.
Yeah.
There's no whatever you see
that.
on media or whatever you see and Twitter, whatever, that's an extreme.
Yeah.
Because that's what gets the attention, right?
Right.
Right.
We don't know him in like normal day-to-day life.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because imagine if someone
feels like he does.
I don't know him. I don't.
Like
but no, just imagine this: if someone were to stick a microphone in your head for 48 hours,
all the time.
would you think you're crazy? Would they think you're crazy?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so
sure.
we're all a little
Absolutely.
bit. So
100%.
that how I look at it is like we're all a little kind of whatever. But
if somebody stuck a microphone in my head, I wouldn't leave my house.
Exactly. I'm like, I ain't never.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave my house. It's like, wait a minute.
The thoughts that you run through your head randomly for no reason is crazy, you know. So
yeah. I mean, we all have those days where you feel like your brain literally is like a machine. Is like, and like you're thinking about 50 different things at the same time. It doesn't make you sound like a nut job.
Yeah, you'd be like, this guy's crazy for sure. So
yeah, but everybody's like that though.
Yeah.
So in a way, like I said, you guys are both correct in a sense. Like his is a little bit more extreme, but I don't know if it's because it's that's what we see, or
because he's actually
like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. I won't know.
Who knows?
I think he's actually nuts, but
No, but you might be right. I'm not saying like you're wrong. You might be completely right. I just don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know. Unless I meet him and hang out with him for 48 hours, I'll tell you guys if that happens, which one day it probably will. But until that day happens, I'll let you know.
but to be fair, I am staying out of this like better rapper type of deal. Like, dude, I'm staying out of that, man. That sounds like I struck a chord. It's
like Kanye West and politics, where we don't talk about on the podcast anymore. All right, those two things.
Politics is stressful.
Oh man!
And Kanye
the
West.
politics conversation will come back around because
it's a part of the fabric.
That's fair.
Kanye West, man.
That's funny.
And I like Kanye West.
Yeah.
But goodness gracious.
That's Kanye is the ongoing joke on our podcast. So
yeah, he's a meme for sure. He's a meme.
So I do want to talk a little bit about because you're doing physical therapy. What is what are the the benefits that anybody can use when it comes to physical therapy? Because I'm sure you've learned like the book of what they tell you what you need to do. And then I'm sure you probably did the creative experiment kind of stuff where you might try something a little off or, where you
Because you know what, John? I've been having trouble with my left Achilles.
Here we go.
Boy.
For like 2 years.
Oh boy.
I need you to fix it. The boot didn't work.
I'll be honest with you. If I ever meet you one day, I'll be able to fix it probably. So, I just said, if I ever meet you in person one day, I'll have to examine it. But
for sure.
Yeah. So what I've learned a lot is that it's kind of like any school really, because anything, especially medicine, in my opinion, you are given all the tools in the world, all the book stuff. You have all the base. I know all the anatomy, you name it, whatever, right? But just like any job, like being a lawyer or something like that, right? You'll start seeing what works and what doesn't. And at this point, because I've been in it for quite a while now, I've kind of honed my way of streamlining everything.
Okay.
So what I've learned is that it's almost like you have all the base, but 50% of physical therapy is this is the biggest lesson I've learned, is that 50% of physical therapy is not even what you know. It's making your patient believe that you know what you know.
Wait, you gotta explain that.
One more time for the folks.
Okay, okay, that's a weird statement to say, right?
Yes,
but
I'm confused.
Yeah, but let me break it down for you. Yeah. So when you go to a physician's office, right?
Okay.
They tell you whatever, and you just believe it instantly because they're a physician.
Okay.
Unfortunately, physical therapy as a doctorate is very new. It's about, I don't know, 15 years, 20 years, whatever.
Okay.
Because it used to be a bachelor's and it just transformed into master's, and now everybody's required to have a doctorate.
Wow.
So now when people call me a doctor, but they say physical therapy, because 9 times out of 10 when I ask my patient, do you know what physical therapists do? And they're like, no.
Okay.
Like, you'd fix me? I don't know.
Do you massage or whatever? And in a certain part of it, yeah, we do. But that's not all of it, right?
Yeah.
So now when they come in, most people, because they don't have that base of knowing what we actually do fully, because you know what a physician does, right?
Like a general practice, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What I learned as a practicing physical therapist is that if they don't believe that you are in a doctorate level, you know all the stuff that can help them, because everybody is so conditioned to learn to take medication for everything. But I need to convince them that I know how you can fix your body by you doing what you want to do, by you doing it yourself.
Okay.
I have to I have to convince them that I know how to do that.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
That makes sense.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if I told you that for let's say your Achilles, for example, right?
Right.
You go to a physician. Here's the medication. You take it. Your Achilles is fixed.
Okay. Cool.
You wouldn't even bat an eye and take it.
Yeah.
But if I told you,
I might bat an eye, but I'm different.
but you know what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Generally
if you
speaking.
come to me, it's like I know how you can fix it, but you have to do the work. I'm gonna give you homework to do something.
Okay.
Most people will be like, "What?
Homework?
What?
Like
What?
just fix me.
I have to put in work to
Right.
make myself feel better. This is weird. What? I thought you can fix me.
Yeah, I want you just to go and bend my leg and
Gotcha.
fix me, and I'm done. I go.
Yeah,
walk.
fix it.
that's
Fix it. But
Yeah.
I have to essentially like 50% of that is just me convincing them to even do that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's just convincing them that you're not like the end all be all to whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. Like I almost have to convince them that I know how your body works and I can teach you how to use your own body to help you.
But the caveat is you need to do work for
But
it
the
to work.
caveat is
Ah.
this will take a while.
It'll
It won't
take
happen in a
longer.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will take more than a week. It will probably take several weeks.
Mhm.
And you have to come here multiple times. And then when you're not here, you have to do other stuff at home.
Well, school conditioned just for this. Like, hey, go
Yeah.
do work in here and then go home and do homework.
Yeah, because unfortunately, most people are not conditioned to perceive that as
Yeah. I understand.
what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
If-
makes
if-
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I have to. That's why I said like I have to convince you, or I have to be able to relate to you that I know how to help you,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to believe me. And that's why I need to get buy-in from you
Ah.
to do what I want you to do.
So you need to.
Do you think that's attributed to the healthcare system as a whole because everybody's kind of been indoctrinated to think like they need medicine to fix certain problems?
That's a good question.
Because the truth is, like, I really don't like taking medicine. I always look for the herb
Yeah.
or whatever food I can eat to get rid of this problem. Because I don't really like taking medicine. So I mean,
Yeah. You might be the perfect patient, Chantal. I don't know. Unfortunately, most patients are not like that. Yeah, unfortunately, most patients are not like that. I actually don't know. The easy answer is yes, because that's the easy answer. But I kind of reserve my judgment on that.
Okay.
Because a lot of it I think is more how do I explain this? Definitely in a certain degree, yes, where everybody's kind of conditioned to just go to the doctor, take medicine, and you do that stuff. But in your case, it doesn't really apply. But also, you have to understand that because information is so readily available to you now,
WebMD.
right? WebMD, you go in there, you start freaking out, whatever, right? So a lot of people do that,
Yeah.
And yeah, so
I'm guilty.
as
a nurse, I'm guilty. As a nurse, I'm still guilty.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I understand.
You see what I'm saying? So, because information is so readily available, it's so easy to almost make everything worse in your head.
For sure. For sure.
So yeah, because I can't tell you how many times I've had a patient where it's like, oh yeah, I think it's this, and I think it's this, I think it's this, and I'm like, I think you're just sitting too much.
Like, should I stop playing volleyball? And I go here, and what do I need to do? Like, stop sitting in your chair for 6 hours.
Yeah. It's like, you're
take a walk around the building every 6 minutes.
Yeah. You know how your foot is. Yeah, you know how your foot is numb? When you press on the nerve, you become numb. And if you're sitting for 8 hours, you'll get numb feet.
Yeah, like it's not a condition. You're
It's
not like losing your legs. Like,
I don't have any medicine for this.
This does not require ibuprofen or whatever. It's just
that's so
why don't you every couple hours just stand up and walk around?
Yeah, right. That's funny. That's so funny.
But
giving out magic elixirs and stuff to people.
Yeah. But okay, that also circles back to my point, right? If I told you that and you didn't believe what I was telling you, because what do you mean? That's too simple.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Yeah.
Because it is.
I see.
So now and part of my job too is that because we're taught literally about how your body works in every single degree of it. Like your muscles, your nerves, how everything kind of works, and as a chain. Me telling you that actually went through 10 layers of thinking. Just me telling you that you need to stand up. Right? Because if I told you that, like, okay, anybody could have told me that, but would they have been? Because in my head, what happened was like you're compressing on your sciatic nerve. Okay.
Okay.
Which
I
makes
see.
your piriformis tight, which kind of compresses it even more, so that all the signals that go down your feet become numb. So now, depending on where your foot is numb, that can also be a different nerve. So now this one, You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I see.
So,
It went through all those layers, but I don't tell you those.
Yeah.
But me telling you to get up and stand, that's the end product. But you need to believe that I went through all those layers for me to tell you.
In order for you to get up and stand, like the doctor
get up and stand.
Wow,
so that's where the convincing happens.
Got you. Wow.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of that in itself to me is more of a like finesse and being able to communicate, and that's where like communication is really key.
Yeah, I understand. You kind of have to like know how to explain stuff to people, number one, but also make them trust you enough to be like, look, I know what I'm talking about. I'm a doctor. Oh, a doctor. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I don't overtly say that. I'm like, oh, I'm a doctor. Like I'm not that type of guy who'd be like, hey man, look at me.
Shut up, I'm a doctor.
Cool.
I know what I'm talking about.
I would do that all the time.
I'm not gonna lie. I might be a little like bragging. Like,
I would do that all the
you
time.
know what you're talking about. I'm a doctor. This
Really?
tastes good. Like what? This isn't nothing to do. What do you mean?
Now everybody raise your hand if you're a doctor.
Huh? I was
Like, that's exactly what I would do.
I'm like 2 hands like.
Now everybody who is not a doctor, sit down.
Shut up.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm talking because I'm a doctor. Oh, funny.
Trust me, I'm a doctor. Yeah. So
That's
but that's kind of why I said that really kind of weird thing to say.
Yeah.
But that's why I had to explain it from that perspective. Is like as I become more experienced as a physical therapist, I'm more leaning towards more communication because the base is there. All physical therapists have the same base. It's just what makes you a good physical therapist is how you communicate. It's how you relay information.
I can understand.
And in a sense, I'm also a teacher, right? Because I have to teach you how your body works.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So that's what I learned more because they don't teach you that in school. They don't teach you how to become a teacher.
Right.
That's funny.
You have to pick that up on your own.
Yeah.
You have to pick that up on your own. That's years and years of experience and see what works, what doesn't, and all that stuff. So as a long-winded answer to your question, that's where it is.
No, that's totally fine. No, it's interesting. I didn't think about that. And I also want to ask you, because like since you know so much, what are there like general practices that people can do, like even if they're not having to go to physical therapy, that can prevent them from getting hurt? Or like, is there any like general knowledge that you know of that's like, do these things like daily or monthly to kind of keep certain problems away?
The big one that comes to mind, especially, it's actually really applicable currently because everybody's working remotely, is fixing your posture.
I hunch.
So what? Yeah. So
we all
because
start
everybody's
readjusting. We all like, hold on.
everybody's like this. Like,
I almost gotta move my mic up. Look.
Yeah, because everybody's using. You guys also have to understand that everybody's using a phone.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking like this. Everybody's using a screen. Everybody's using, meetings and whatever, multiple meetings and stuff like that. The most common thing that I see are neck pains, headaches, shoulder pains, and people don't know where it's coming from. Like I just woke up one day and I just had it. Well, what do you do for work? Oh, I'm a paralegal, or I'm I just my work shifted to all Zoom meetings now, right?
Computers.
And now, but what most people don't realize is that your posture actually dictates a lot of your pain.
Okay.
Yeah, because people get headaches. They're called tension headaches. They get it from back here and then ends up in the back of your eyes, things like that, because they're kind of here all the time. They're doing this thing.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah. Or people get shoulder pain in front of their arm, or it shoots down their hand. My hand goes numb, things like that. I have back pain, mid pain. A lot of that is posture because your body is not meant to be like that.
Wow.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. So if you're here, think of it this way. You're here, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Your head, usually, from what I understand, the human head is normally about 8 to 12 pounds. Okay.
Yeah.
Normally.
Yeah,
so when your head is here, okay, your head is connected to your neck, correct?
Yeah.
So when your head is here, it becomes a weight. No.
Okay.
The issue with that is this: each inch that it's farther away from your body, that actually multiplies the weight of your head. So it's not 8 to 12 pounds anymore. It's about 20, 30, 40, 50.
Oh, really?
Dang.
Yeah. So every time that you look down, it cranks right here.
Okay. Huh.
So it cranks right here. And so now all these muscles are connected up here. So they keep getting yanked and they overactivate.
Yeah.
So
okay.
so essentially, you ever had neck pains right here when you get stressed or whatever?
I have for sure.
That's like those muscles. That's like you going to the gym carrying a 30-pound weight and walking around like this all day.
Oh shoot!
This is gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt for sure.
This is gonna be
Facts.
right.
Wow.
So when your head just being here, that's what ends up happening.
So you got to really like.
That's how.
Right. That's why they always talk about that. Like,
that's why, like, if you notice, I'm kind of here all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty tall guy, so my chair is always this high. My screen is up this way for a certain reason. Is because that's kind of what I teach all the time. But
yeah.
That's how important your posture is.
Wow.
That's how important your posture is. Yeah.
Wow.
There are multitudes of other stuff that actually gets affected by it. So, like I said, shoulder pain, sometimes even breathing, because you're kind of scrunched over here. Your lungs can't expand as much.
Huh. So people who like tend to like, because I see people that are like shy or kind of like kind of like as they walk they kind of like want to blend in,
quote unquote meek or whatever.
Yeah, meek. So they tend to like turn their shoulders in more and they kind of keep their head down, and that could affect their breathing. I didn't even think about that. I actually never that never constantly thought in my mind like, dang, maybe even low confidence can make you turn in more, which makes you kind of not be able to breathe.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting thought. I actually never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I actually never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I don't know why that particularly came up, but yeah, like that's
where I do see that, which is not surprising, is actually in women who have bigger busts, because they tend to close themselves off because they don't want people to, because you don't want to be walking around like this because people are going to be staring at you.
You're
like, hey, I'm here.
Do you see what I'm saying? So now add it with also, as just strictly from anatomical, you're adding weight to that, and then you're kind of hunched over. You make it a lot worse, and I see a lot of shoulder pain, back pain, neck pain, headaches, you name it. I've seen it.
Wow.
With all that stuff. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how important your posture is.
Dude, wow. I
you
didn't
need
even
to teach a class. Like a master class.
Yes. I'll be in the first class, by the way. I will be.
Because I would definitely take it.
For sure. You already have two clients.
At some point, sure, I'll teach you guys.
And I'm about to tell my job I need a new chair. Like,
smart.
Yeah. You might need it. You might need it. Who knows, right?
Chair tomorrow.
You might need it.
Because I'm not.
But yeah. So when your mom tells you to sit up straight, listen to your mom. Mom knows best, right?
Sit up straight.
Yeah.
Head up. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, for sure.
for
You
sure.
know, you actually have good points, mother. I understand this now.
Yeah, it's like you know or
Good
something.
points, mother.
Like, you're not trying to
Yeah.
tell me, just tell me. You're telling me because this actually does work. I'm like, oh, I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I thought I knew
Here's
everything.
But like,
Okay.
no shade.
Yeah.
I don't think our mothers knew the breakdown of what this gave us. I really don't know if they knew.
Yeah,
that
okay.
100%.
To be fair, you're correct.
I
You're
don't
correct.
know.
You're probably right. Yeah, I agree.
You're correct, but it kind of boils down to it. And
Yeah.
the big thing about it too, okay, if you're still not convinced, as a byproduct, okay, one, you just look more confident, like you
Yeah.
were saying. Right? You just walk around like this.
Yeah. Like,
Because there's a big difference between somebody walking around like this and walking around like this.
yeah. Immediately. You
There's
can
that's just confidence
Immediately.
alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you noticed that.
Immediately. Also, you just gain like 2 inches of height.
I was 6'8"
Right?
before. Now I'm 6'8". Hey, I'm about to be 6'3" tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah, like
Hey, I'm gonna be
You see what
6'3"
I'm saying,
tomorrow.
though?
Watch, bet. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm 6'3" and a
yeah,
half. You know what I mean?
especially
What's
for the guys out there, you know, dude. Like if you want to be taller, just stand up tall, man. It's kind of simple, man. Yeah,
I just gave
I'm
you
just
some height,
saying.
man. That's good. I like that.
yeah. But you know, that's kind of the biggest one is posture for sure. Yeah,
Wow.
that's the biggest one that I see.
So I'm definitely gonna have to get one of those. Do those back corrector works? The ones that you strap on, you put on it's like a vest. Do those really work?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, and a lot of my patients ask me about those too. My answer is really political, but in a sense, it's correct. Meaning, what I tell them is that if you want to learn how to fix your posture, those don't work, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because what most people feel like, it trains my posture. No, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It pulls you,
Yeah.
but you don't really know how to do it. You know.
That's
so
true.
once you take it off, you're back here.
Yeah.
That being said, if you need it to function at your work, use it. I'm not against them.
Mhm.
If you need it to function at work, whatever, use it. But you have to know that you have mechanisms in your body that actually do it for you without using it.
Gotta activate them. Think about it.
Yeah, you have to use. Yeah, you have to use it. Yeah, you have to use it first. And also for the listeners out there who want to, just as a breakdown of posture, you have to also think of the posture as not an exercise. It's not strengthening. It's a habit. Because bad posture is a bad habit, and good posture is a good habit. So you're just replacing a bad habit with a good habit. That's pretty much it.
Got you. Wow, man. Wow. I would have never thought about that because I always heard that they work and I see people use them, but I didn't think like it's more of like a you need to actually just train yourself to sit up and be straight rather than use the tool.
You essentially you're right. You have to essentially tell your brain to always use it.
Yeah.
You have to you have to practice it and practice it and practice it. And there's no real easy way of doing it. There's no shortcuts. You just have to do it.
Wow.
You just have to learn how to do it and then use it.
I understand. Wow, man.
That's the hard part.
I know. Nobody
That is
wants
the hard
to do the
part,
work.
though.
Nobody wants to do the work. We want Band-Aids. We want medicine just to cure for us. Come on. We're Americans.
Yeah.
This is what we want.
So
Medicine, but we don't want the side effects.
is that why you're not very keen on medicine, Chantal?
It's a few different reasons. My biggest thing is I don't want to take anything that I need all the time to feel good. So I'll give you an example. I have really severe allergies, like really bad. And on top of that, I live with cats, which I'm allergic to, right? And opposed to me taking non-drowsy allergy pills all the time that make me feel drowsy and sleepy and all of that other stuff, I look into other things that can help me contain my allergies. I look into herbs, teas that I can drink, when to go outside, when not to go outside. You know, I try to be smart about it because I don't constantly want to feel drugged, and I don't want to need to take an Allegra 2 times a day, right?
Yeah, I mean, I totally get that. It's a very, very valid point. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I totally get it. Yeah. How about you, Tony? What do you feel?
It depends. Sometimes I will, depending on the severity, how sick I am. But I don't really like to take medicine unless like I need to, or I'm just like, I'm not trying to sit here and suffer. Let me just take some Theraflu real quick so I can just be done. Because I'm not trying to sit here and just feel sick and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm like, in the middle, like 50-50.
Okay, yeah, I get that too. I'm sort of the same. If something can help me without really needing to take medication for it, because to be fair, there are things that you really need medication for, right?
Yeah, for sure.
If something that I don't have to rely on, and I'd prefer that.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
and also I'm kind of biased because I'm a physical therapist, so that's kind of that's the whole thing.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
For
With
sure.
that one.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, unfortunately, we got to wrap it up. We're getting close to time.
yeah.
But thank you so much, man, for coming on. I really enjoyed talking to your deep voice.
Dope,
you know, totally. It was like,
I appreciate it.
Jules, like, are you guys old enough to remember the DJ Theo from like 92.3?
I don't.
It sounds familiar. DJ Theo.
Theo had like this really deep, prominent voice, right? And he turns out, coincidence, he's Filipino, right? Like John is. He has a really dope voice, right? But he was like this really short Filipino guy, and nobody could believe that was the guy. Like you're like, that's not Theo, right?
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that doesn't work, right? But yeah, Google it, Theo.
Okay.
It doesn't fit the voice, man.
If I close my eyes, I would not see you. Like, huh? Like, wow. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute.
Fair enough.
Like,
But I take that as a compliment. I appreciate that very much.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. It was really fun.
No problem. And then also, like, what's your gaming streamer, or if you want to put it out there if people want to follow you or get more tips?
For those who want to follow me on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Sandata. It's S4NDATA. That's really my Twitch. Just follow me there. I usually stream on Sundays around 3:30 Pacific. And just kind of do whatever. I stream games. I'm going to start doing art streams more. So, but if you have questions, I guess is now because physical therapy or whatever, more than willing. I'm more than willing within the bounds to answer some general questions that are not meant. That are not meant to that are not meant to diagnose someone or specifically help someone, so I don't get sued.
For sure. For sure. We'll try to keep it with art and gaming. How about that? We'll just try to
art and gaming. So if you guys would like to see that, just follow me there. Thank you so much.
Will do, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and everything and all the advice and
information. I appreciate it too.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you, John.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on again, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Just let me know. This was awesome. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem, guys. All right, until next time, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. And if you have any questions, comments, put it up in the description, not the description, in the comments, and subscribe and like to this video. Hope you got some value. Until next time on Unpack Your Bag Podcast. Peace, love, and hair grease. Talk to y'all soon. Thanks, John. I'll see you later.
Them lonely boy blues, lonely boy blues. Them lonely boy blues, lonely boy blues. You don't hear about it every day in the news. And walk around with a frown and got nothing to lose. Them lonely boy blues, lonely boy blues. Them lonely boy blues, lonely boy blues. You don't hear about it every day in the news. And walk around with a frown and got nothing to lose. He was a